Yo, we back. Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. Also, I'm not a financial advisor, just an entertainer. So take this information and do with it what you want. So we're gonna, we don't want to take up too much of your time today. We're just gonna get right into it. We're gonna talk about Wall Street mixed signals, Dow falls, Nasdaq rises. What's next? Recession warning, the yield curve inverts again. Nvidia's monster earnings, but why is the stock lackluster? Actually, it's probably not that lackluster right now. PCE inflation data incoming. Will the Fed hike rates again? Trump, his $4.5 million or $1 trillion tax cut plan. Does that boost the stock market or not? And overvalued tech stocks. Let's get right into it. All right, so we'll probably just go right into the news. Um, Talking about the Dow. Let's see here. Let's go right into the Dow. Like I said, the Nasdaq. Let me see here. S&P kind of remained flat. Nasdaq rose 2.6%, and the yield curve is down, as we're going to talk about in a little bit. So actually, we'll talk about it right now. The yield curve. The Federal Reserve's favorite recession indicators flashing danger signs again. So the 10-year Treasury yield passes below the 3-month. Wednesday in market lingo, that's known as the inverted yield curve, and it has a sterling prediction record, not perfect. While there are no certain growth, there's no certainty that growth will turn negative. But investors worry that expected growth from the ambitious Trump plan or agenda under Donald Trump. It's not really, the Trump pump is kind of fizzling out right now. Hopefully that doesn't continue. And it's been strong, but it hasn't been perfect. So it happened back in October 2022, and there's still been no recession 2.5 years later. So it's not perfect, but it is, it does lead to, or it does affect market sentiment. So you can read into that story, but the yield curve has inverted once again. And like I said, historically that signals economic downturns, but it's not that perfect. So we get into Nvidia's earnings. Nvidia, we'll go back up here. Nvidia delivered earnings, but still gave investors reasons to worry. If the Federal Reserve dictates the cost of money, then Nvidia determines the amount of hype in the financial market. Like we talked about, Nvidia has been leading the charge on this tech and AI boom that we've been experiencing. It's been the bellwether, delivering our earnings once again, smashing Wall Street expectations and reaffirming its status as the most important name in both stock and artificial intelligence. So as you can see, they're up. They delivered 89 cents earnings per share. That's up 71%. Quarterly, 39.3. That's also up 78%. Quarterly profit, 22 billion, 70 something percent. And full year revenue, they smashed it at 130.5 billion. That's up 114%. Nvidia's outlook to impress Wall Street with first quarter revenue for fiscal 2026 forecast to hit roughly 43 billion. So they're forecasting more in this quarter, which they will probably meet again. So a statement from them: we've successfully ramped up the massive scale production of the Blackwell AI computers, achieving billions of dollars in sales in the first quarter. And AI is advancing at light speed as agentic AI and physical AI set the stage for the next wave of AI revolution. So they're heavily involved in it. They're heavily involved in it. They position themselves. They said they have good guidance for their first quarter earnings. So and that's going to be in data centers. They're going to dominate data centers. Nvidia's 35.6 billion in data center revenue and 93% increase from a year ago. So most of their revenue came from data centers. And Blackwell smashing records. The next gen chip generated 11 billion in revenue in the quarter, calling it the fastest product ramp in Nvidia's history. So Blackwell chips is amazing, and that AI models require and even more computing power, not less. So, and the stock is priced to perfection. I mean, it's at a good price. It's not overly priced. It's not a $500 $600 stock. So it's, it's good for investors. Um, but we also have the bond curve. That's a warning. So is capital going to be there for these investments for most companies? Um, stuff like that. So we'll continue to monitor Nvidia. Right now, if you want to take a look at it, it's up pre-market, $134. So it's up almost $4 from the close of 31.52. Those are all good signs. But as it talked about, the PCE, the forecast for Friday's PCE report show inflation remaining elevated. So inflation has fallen dramatically since the peak in 2022. We talked about that, the inverted yield curve coming down in 2022, but it remains above Federal Reserve's target of 2%. So Fed Reserve wants inflation they consider normal at 2%. Right now, we were at 2.8 in December. In January, we're looking at about 2.6. So there's still some inflation out there, but it is falling, so to speak. The Fed is expected to hold interest rates steady at its next meeting in March. So no rate cut coming. So that's that's the market loves rate cuts. So we'll get into a forecast for the January PCE price index report suggests overall inflation remains higher than the Fed wanted to in January. Economists expect that overall PCE inflation rose 0.3 percent on an annual basis and 2.5 percent. I'm sorry, on a monthly basis and 2.5% on an annual basis, according to FactSet. So they're going to finish the month at 2.6. Even factoring in annual seasonal adjustments to the data, nationwide financial market economists say inflation is looking sticky thanks to strong economic conditions. So we'll continue to, and you can see the the 5 year average is 3.6. So we're under the 5 year, but as you can see, it is kind of rising, which is not always good, but it's not good at all. So probably can expect, if inflation remains high, we can expect more rate hikes. But if inflation slows, you could see a possible market rebound. So we'll continue to look at that as our biggest gauge. Now we're going to get into the Trump tax cuts. Let me see who are. So House Republicans advanced Trump's tax cut plan. House narrowly approved it to advance the 4.5 trillion. Hardline Republicans sought deeper spending cuts. So that this still has a road to go. But the Republican-controlled House late that night passed the tax cuts. It's preliminary step in extending Trump's 2017 tax cuts. So of course that's good for business. I don't know how that works out to the individual, but it's good for business. I mean, they're expecting big hikes, and the 1-2 percenters, they're expecting that as well. So if we get corporate tax cuts, that likely going to boost the stock market, and it could fuel an economic growth, and also it could add to the deficit. So all the deficit hawks out there, probably not something you want to hear, but it's good signs. Like I said, it's already passed the House. We'll see what it does in the Senate. So anything else in news? Let me take a look here. Nvidia seeks to rebound from eggs to housing. We got eggs still high. There's a plan to bring those down. I haven't really read into it. Canada's still upset with us, and yeah, we'll monitor that. And let me see, a disastrous buyout exposes fuzzy math. Yeah, private equity.
Market data connection lost.
Private equity is, there's less regulation, so private equity is something to watch, and how that
Market
plays out.
data connection
So
re-established.
that's really all I have for important news. And we'll just want to go over our portfolio real quick. Like I said, we talked about Nvidia. Right now they're up pre-market, despite strong earnings. Valuation, the evaluation of future future business, it may weigh it down a little bit as we update. Give me a second here. Let me close out some of these high computer hogging websites. So we'll continue to watch Nvidia. What do we have? Strong performers are Meta. Meta's done pretty well. They're even up pre-market to 683. Palantir, my baby, Palantir. Palantir's up pre-market to 91.75, a good rebound. It's still right at that 78% retracement. So we hope it bounces up back to close to the 200 EMA. That would be something. Tesla. Let me see. Tesla is also up pre-market. It fell below 300, but hopefully we get a retracement here back up to, hopefully the ceiling at 365 ish, breaking through the 200 EMA. Same thing with the ETF. Um, and let's see here, Kalor's up. Everything's up. Everything's up, and I think people are just hopeful that the Nvidia news will power the market back to where it needs to be. So you can see that a lot of these AI stocks are, up this morning. Sound is up as well to back over $10. Rigetti approaching that $10 mark again. Archer Aviation also up pre-market, above almost at 850. SoFi is up as well pre-market. Let's see what Talk's doing. Talk's up. I mean, we need that to get back over $3. I think right now is probably a good buy time if you're looking to add to that portfolio. Misty, the ETF on MSTR, they're up as well. I believe crypto is rebound. Let me just take a quick look at crypto. Wow, Bitcoin's down to 85,000. I didn't wasn't aware of that, and it looks to be sliding. So we'll continue to monitor that ETF based on MSTR, which is heavily into Bitcoin. They probably will buy a couple thousand or so more. Walmart is hopefully they're up. Updating stuff is getting old. Bear with me. Take a drink of coffee here. Where you at, Walmart? Come on. Walmart's down pre-market. But I mean it's Fib is showing that it should bounce off of this level right here. It's got some support in the ceiling back at what was that 95-ish. So we look for that, hopefully look for that to bounce off of that. Schwab's down a little bit. Man, we're just running slow this morning. Too much open. I don't have too much open now. Schwab's down a little bit. Actually, it's up a little bit. Pre-market, but it's facing some headwinds. We had a double top up here. It hit the target down here, so maybe we'll get a boost off of that. Same does. I don't know why I like saying it like that. Like it's like Spanish. But that also had a double top. Didn't hit the target. Came close to it. But it looks like we're rising off of that. And lastly, but not least, um, Apple off the double top hit the target, so we should bounce up. Should be a good bounce here off of at least a retracement off of Apple. So if you're looking to get in that, get in. Man, Super Micro, last I think yesterday was their deadline or something to to stay listed. I mean, they had to correct some stuff, and they met the deadline, and they've been up ever since. Earnings. What is this thing doing? Earnings. They missed earnings on they missed earnings by a few pennies, actually about 7 pennies. But they hit revenue. So that's always, I won't say that's always good, but that's good. They are down a little bit pre-market, actually down a lot pre-market. So it's probably based on those earnings. But if they continue with the pace that they're on, they should, they hit this double top, hit the target, kind of fills it out here. And we'll see what they do going forward. Lee Otto, man, I kind of said we should have got back in, didn't really push it. Probably should have pushed it a little more, but it's got a lot of room to run. If you're using a football term, that usually spells touchdown. Uh, Big Bear AI rebounding as well, up over market, up pre-market. Hims, this is stuff that we were looking at getting into, but haven't really pulled the trigger on it. Hims is up pre-market as well. Couple other things. The momentum stocks, the momentum ETF is up as well. So that's good signs for the momentum guys. Let me see. We don't have too much more new plays. Week 5 play is kind of fizzling out. Week 6, Tempest. Tempest is back on the rise. Week 7, we got UMAC. All of my drone guys coming in here. RCAT's up. MOB, money over, is up 13%. So that I'm big on drone stocks because they're in the nerd news, but they haven't made it over to the mainstream news. But if you're not in them, get in them because most of these wars and everything is going to be fought with drones. GRR, it's up as well. Another week 7 money play. Let's see. Let's go. Week 8. Week 8 money plays are doing pretty good. RSO, PRSO. That one's up almost 1%. ABL, that's Abacus Life. What are they at? No pre-market trades. PGY, no pre-market trades on. Actually, they're up pre-market. And STSS, that was Pagoya, and this is Sharps Technology, down a little bit pre-market. And this week's play is week 9, ADCT. That's ADC Therapeutics. Heavy. I don't know if you've seen the trend. Drone tech, um, um, consumer durables, and pharmaceuticals and med tech. Those are the money plays. This is up 3%, and Lincoln Educational Services. This is they're online, so most people are going to start homeschooling their kids, especially when they shut down the Department of Education. So they're up 3% as well. So yeah, that's about all I have. Final takeaways. You want to definitely diversify your portfolio. Look to add some health stocks, med tech, pharmaceuticals, some consumer staples. Your normal stuff. One of the ones that I haven't really done some research on it, but I see Dollar General's coming up everywhere, and I think we're entering, especially if we go into a recession. We could see a lot of consumers. The consumer spending would hedge more towards the the savings. I forgot what they call them, but the cheap guys. So do that. Like I said, balance it out with those defensive stocks. Dividend ETF stuff like that. That's about it, man. So that's all I got for today. Market's about to open in 30 minutes or so. So protect your neck out here. Peace.